is 5 to 7 sentences that puts together who is this character, answers that question. Who is Billy Pilgrim? Okay? I'm going to give you an example. If I've got this information for Edgar Derby, if I've got an example of something that he does, something that he says, how he feels, and then who he is, I'm going to look at that information and see if I can pull together a character sketch of Edgar Derby. So I'm going to give you an example of how it should sound like and the tone and the things that you can include. Edgar Derby is a mature, experienced World War II soldier who embodies the values of patriotism, American pride, and survival. He speaks out heroically for America and as a result stands out as an individual among the masses of passive, listless soldiers. Derby serves as a symbol of the pro-war sentiment in this novel. He is a character who attempts to find logic and order in a universe that is inherently illogical. Edgar Derby is collected from what he does, what he says, how he feels. So you're examining your charts. You're examining the actions of the character, Billy Pilgrim, what he says and what he feels, to come up with a composite character sketch of who Billy Pilgrim is in this novel, what he represents. Okay? So the first thing you're doing is you're brainstorming with your group on this chart. The second thing you're doing is each one of you is writing your own character to identify which one do you think really captures the essence of who Billy Pilgrim is. So you're listening to... No. And we're going to talk about, once you get a composite of who Billy Pilgrim is in this novel, I'm going to tell you the true story that I wanted to tell you yesterday about who is Billy Pilgrim.
Does Billy go and see Mary though? Is there like really Mary in this book?
Vonnegut. All of that is Vonnegut.
So there's no Mary or Harry in this book?
Those are real people.
But they're not like real in the story of the book. I mean, like with Billy, they're not in the same...
They're not characters. They're real people.
Let's go, come on, group 3.
Does or what he says? What he does. What he does.
Let's get out of war.
And then what he says. That happens. So he tells the biggest Jews to leave. 8 things? I know. Jesus. No. Leave him behind.
You guys don't. How you guys doing?
Okay.
What's he doing when you ride the back of that wagon?
Most beautiful thing in his life.
Okay, and that's a good one. When he's flying sunbathing, yeah, it's the most peaceful moment of his life. And so that goes how he feels in that situation. You can use in that
That's what that says.
and that gives you information about who he is.
Doesn't take much to please.
Well, they're both in trouble.
Yeah, and when you think of the Serenity Prayer that he says, you can identify what's important to him.
See, we could say everywhere he travels to travels to family reunions.
Brought more, sort of. He didn't really fight, he just kind of ran.
What did you do at one time when all the groups sit out
Oh, in the path? I read that, he just stopped. He just stood there. Some guy shot at him. What else you got? Went wacky.
He's got like 100.
Goes crazy.
He went nuts, dude.
No, I never. What do you have?
He goes in New York City to tell a story.
We're really helping them understand. So we're all 17.
Is there somebody who's not 17?
Maybe that's right. That is what he's doing. It's part of who he is as a person.
Get down for what?
That helps him
For what
survive.
he is?
Yeah. This idea of what he does helps him survive. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to experience all these things. So we want to make the connection between what he does and who he is.
And this one's for the second one.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt. No,
Kurt.
yeah, it was Vonnegut. He did though, and then he goes, there they are. And there it goes.
There you go.
There you go, there you go.
Okay, what about what's the next one?
Are we gonna use that or no?
That's for what he says.
Or the situation was.
How he was.
How does he feel?
He feels down.
Feels bad about life.
I know, boss.
Depressed.
Maybe not go into the book for this one.
He needs to do something else.
What was that last one?
Said that. Yep. We could. You said put goes to New York City.
Yeah.
He has 2 kids.
Did you put Ghost in New York?
Yeah, yeah. 2 kids. Actually 3 kids because Montana.
Yeah.
It's 3 kids.
2 kids.
2 kids with Valencia and 1 kid. Yeah, because remember there's a part where like they're in the zoo and he's sitting there. Oh, did you just hear that from now?
Two getting taped.
Right here he says that.
For what? Regarding what?
Well, he knows that like when the plane's gonna crash. Like he says that, he's like.
He says
I
the
got on
plane's going to
plane,
crash.
The plane's gonna crash.
He says the plane will crash.
So it goes.
That's Vonnegut, man.
What do you
He also describes Chum Alfredorian on the radio, doesn't he? The aliens thing on the radio.
He discussed it to the stadium when how he's gonna die and when, right there. Whoa, you guys just wrote that.
He also.
This bombing had to happen, and there's nothing you can change.
So when he's saying you can't control anything?
Billy doesn't want to believe that. But that's Tralfamadorian thought. You
like
don't
Tralfamadorian
have
thought?
free will.
So really,
I don't know.
that whole so it goes thing is just the military's out letting people back. It's we're at war and someone's gonna die, but so it goes because we have to win the war.
I think it relates to it. I think you're right. But where does so it goes philosophy come from? The Tralfamadorians. Billy, if you pit that against what Billy has in his office, what is that thing he has in his office? Yeah, the poem that says there are some things in life that you can change, and there are some things in life that you can't. Then he goes to Tralfamador, and they say, you can't change anything. Nothing is changeable. Nothing is in your control.
So not using so it goes.
I guess not.
He says so it goes, and so it goes, like you said, means you can't look back and change things. You need to just move on.
He's lazy.
Andy said lazy.
Try to link up your actions, what he does, with what it tells you about who he is.
He's a leader.
He's not a leader.
Virtual film order. And he says something.
He says the best thing he learned on Tralfamador.
He says that he prefers it better than Earth, doesn't he? He says, I now know that I belong on Fairport or something.
Okay, that he prefers their lifestyle? Okay, yep, you can use that.
Quote that.
And what does it tell you about who he is? He prefers life on Tralfamador over life on Earth.
Yo, I think a rock just hit the window.
What does that tell you? That he prefers life on Tralfamador versus life on Earth?
That he's, yeah.
And
He's
what,
like at his last straw. He's
okay,
wit's end.
and also, what's the predominant philosophy on Tralfamador when we're talking about free will versus control?
You don't dwell on the bad things so much as you have to enjoy the good times.
Okay, so it goes back to your escapist philosophy,
Yeah.
that we're going to ignore the bad things that happen in life and just focus on the good.
Yeah.
And it also gives him the escape to not have to be responsible for his actions because he can't control what happens. Life is destined to be the way it's going to be.
That's how he feels. You can't control your actions. He ends up feeling that way.
He learns that.
Seven, yeah.
Oh, he is pessimistic.
Think about who he is in terms of his role in this war.
Your average Joe.
He is your average Joe. He's also sent in this situation, and
That he can't control.
right.
He just
Is he someone who's passive or aggressive? Is he an optimist or a pessimist?
passive. He's passive. We learned that the other day. We wrote that in our journal.
He taught us that, Miss Lawton.
I get an incredible feeling when I come to this class.
This experience. Now you kept saying, you know, third time I'm through, it was my bubble that kept going on. And she's like, please, man.
Also kind of a passive aggressive that you alternate being passive and wanting to to you and being aggressive and wanting to create your own reality.
The whole team did.
Passive aggressive person.
It's a great
There's some reality.
On Channel 9, they had
There you go.
He thinks it.
What she was saying
So
before, like that. He
so
does say.
so it just kind of feels so it goes, and it's just like, well, whatever happens, happens. Yeah, that's a big deal.
Say that. It is or feels?
It's both. He says it and he feels it.
He says so it goes, and then he is like, well, that's how it goes on.
Which song are we talking about? The one on page 155? This is the worst
No,
song?
no,
Barbara
no.
Tucker? 176?
Yeah, 176. I guess that should be it.
What song is that?
It's one where.
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one where it's. Yeah, sitting there with Trout and his wife, and there's that Maggie White.
Because what's the worst song about?
Friends. Like,
Friends and your old gang and having a core group of people that you can count on. And he never had that, because in the first chapter they talk about how Billy Pilgrim went into war. He had no friends. He had no power to hurt or to harm.
What do you do, like faint though, or just like have a breakdown, or what?
I think he had kind of a little blackout when he heard that song. Because I think it reminded him of what he doesn't have, who he start to formulate your paragraph about who is Billy Pilgrim. Give 2 minutes to write in your character and ask for feedback from your groups.
How long
Who
is
this
this supposed to
person
be?
is.